Hello folks, and welcome to Erannorth Chronicles. If you are participating in the second playtest, I hope you are having lots of fun. There are still 3 more days to go for that. It will finish at 6th of August, and after that we will be moving on. We will be meeting again in September with the beta version. And I am a few versions ahead of what you are playtesting. I have already some new species and classes here, as well as some features. So it's a good opportunity to show you some of the things that you can't see, even if you are participating in playtest 2. So let's dive in. From species, we have 2 new additions here. We have the Fae and we have the Shapeshifter. So today I will be showing you the new Shapeshifter gameplay. And I will be playing with a Wererat. So let's guide you a bit on how the Shapeshifter works. So you can shapeshift into a Wererat, okay, yes, you can. To do that you need the Shapeshift card, which after you cast you are turned into your Wererat form in this case, or Werebat form, or Werewolf form, or Weregat form, or whatever Shapeshifter you are. And as long as you are in this form, you will always you start your turn by playing for free this card right here. This card isn't in your deck, it will show in the reference cards. That doesn't mean it's in your deck. You play this card, the Wererat form, as you start your turn, and this will heal 1, give you resistance to physical +1, you will draw a card, and you will also craft your natural weapon cards, which is the Claw attack and the Infest. Okay. We'll see that in action. Additionally, we have Ravenous Bite and Find Weakness. So Find Weakness is a subterfuge card, and Ravenous Bite is a natural weapons card. And other shapeshifters may have access to this Ravenous Bite, but only you get as a Wererat this extra benefit here, which will trigger Festering right away, because otherwise Bleed and Festering happen at the same time, so by the time Festering resolves, this Bleed isn't there yet, so Festering won't do anything at the first casting for any other character. But for you it will, because Bleed will be casted first, and then Festering and Bleed will apply at the same time. Okay, so we will be playing with a Wererat. And speaking of species, I could be adding species and classes forever, but the game has to finish at some point, and if I keep adding stuff, it will never finish. So for the release there will be 1 more species and 1 more class. And if there are some species or classes that you will miss in particular, you can comment in the video below. I will consider your case. So for class, let's pick the Conjurer to also show you some of the summoning gameplay. And normally you wouldn't be making a Wererat Conjurer, but why not? We can, so let's do that. So our affinities, our base affinities are Bludgeoning 1, and we're relying on our summoning creatures, so we are mostly a sideline character, a support character, that we sit back and have our summons do all the dirty work. But since we are also a shapeshifter, we might be able to join the front lines by changing into our Wererat form, which would be interesting. Now, as a Wererat, we have affinity in slashing +2 and penalty in fire -1, so Asmodee's Disciple would be a not so good choice, if you will, because we will be losing this fire affinity we are getting, but on the other hand, could work. Still, I think I will start with the Baal's Disciple, and we'll be getting Shadow Serpents, Exaltation, and the Nether Retainer. This is the cards that we are getting from our specialization. We'll be talking more as we play about what to expect from the Conjurer, how it will work, and so on. So fresh start, it's a great background if you don't know what background to pick. It starts you with 25 perk points. You can purchase an additional perk if you are in Conquest. You start with an additional level up point, increase an extra attribute or skill expertise. So fresh start is always a good option, but for this particular build I will be getting the Mad Scientist. So we can learn Necromancy and we can learn Alchemy. We also get the Plague Doctor and the Harmless Frog, which we won't be using much. As a Conjurer, you will be boosting mostly your summons. So the Conjuration summons, that is. And each of the summoners that pledge their soul to a Demon Lord and in return get their powers gain access to some different planes to tap their summons from. So we have the Ether allies you can get, the Nether, Infernal, Aquatic, Cloud and Hive. We will be getting the Nether ones because we picked Baal as our patron, and we'll also get some access to some unique cards down the road, like Baal's Boon, like Baal's Pact, and so on. And of course the Avatar of Baal. But otherwise we will be able to use all sorts of summons. We'll be able to use Cloud Giants, we'll be able to use Ether Giants, and all these cards we will be able to find except those that are exclusive to a patron. Okay, so let's start. Let's start to see how things are. So our starting cards. We have Exaltation because we are a disciple of Baal, and this has this interesting effect. If you have a Conjuration expertise, then your target gains +3 power, and if you have Necromancy, then they gain an additional +3 power. And we change their morale ability to draw 1, heal 2. Okay, so Exaltation is a good card, but it's even better if you have both Conjuration and Necromancy rank. Rituals will also need for several cards to give us an additional benefit. And that's about it, I think. We want 1 rank in Necromancy. We already have 1 rank in Shapeshift. We already have 1 rank in Natural Weapons. Conjuration and Rituals, Subterfuge. So we have all these ranks. I will add 1 point in Necromancy, 1 extra in Conjuration. And notice now that the hit points here include the bonus HP you get from the mode, that's the plus 35 HP you get from Conquest, add it right here, so you won't have to do the math or wonder how much your final HP will be. Okay, so I do want some of my physical stats back, but I also want some astral, so let's push the charisma. And that's not very impressive, but as I said, it's our summons who will be doing the dirty work, not us. Allies. Etherbound drink, give power and drain. So we'll drain 4 hit points and give power to our summon. It also ignores synergies, which is quite good. Conjurer's gear has the grimoire, which is equally nice. And the ring gives health and you draw a card. And the third is a more generic adventurer setup like crossbow, armor and the Gaunt of Woodland Ally. Also interesting. I think I will go with this setup. This one sounds good. We'll name him Kyle. This is our starting cards. We have 51 cards. We need 30 to build a deck. So let's start. We start at Rivermoor. I will make a stop at the town by pressing T. Here we can buy some stuff if we want. For instance, we can buy one more Ravenous Bite if we want. We can buy some allies that are available in Rivermoor. Satyrs live in Rivermoor, so we can even get a satyr ally if we want. But no. I'm looking for bandages now. Bought one. Bought two. And a bedroll would be nice to have for our adventure. And a meditation candle can get us back in the game. So I think we are good to go. I will now press M to access the quests here, and I will be exploring Riverpine South. We can find skeletons, mass defenses, regenerate, some blue darlings. Anyway, we'll see what we'll find here. Explore. First, we need to make a deck. So, empty. We'll be adding my Etherworld denizens, my Find Weakness cards, my Nether retainers, Netherworld denizens, Ravenous Bite, Shapeshift, which now gained this Shapeshift to Wererat ability, and that's because we are a Wererat and we can use Shapeshift. So, what about this? 1, 3. Exaltations, of course. Equivalent exchange. The frog. Absorb essence. Summoning ritual. Sand of serpents. Sealed minions is nice, but and release. And, the denizens. But we can't have every card in our deck, so I think we'll be playing with this setup and see how it will go. Maybe I will drop one exaltation. And 3 to 7 slashing, 2 to 5 astral, and 1 Aetherworld denizen. The frog is nice because you can always just let him to die. I mean, it doesn't have to come into play. He will heal 3, restore 3, and just go into the Nether Void. Okay, let's go back. I pressed B and D to switch between my deck and my collection. So release, and no, I think I will add 2 release cards. This can let us get rid of a summon. We also have the discard ability, which is quite nice. So I think we are good to go. Okay. So let's start by. We have 3 slots, and we happen to have rituals. Yes. So we can use this synergy multicast because we have rituals. If we didn't have rituals, then this would be a lose 4, draw 2. But because we have rituals, it also gives us a multicast. Now, these ignore synergies cards can keep stacking, meaning I won't lose my multicast by using such cards. Okay. Let's draw one. So if I play a card that doesn't ignore synergies, it will get this multicast, and it will also get the other. Let's open the log. We have power 6, health 6, and multicast. We can make it that into a multicast 4 if we want, but we can make that into a multicast 4. We end up with 3 allies, but we will be dealing 3 to 7 damage to everyone. So let's play that. So one ally got sacrificed, but we dealt damage to everyone, and we have our 3 denizens ready to attack. Before they attack, let's get some health back. Now note that the rituals drain 5, it's a bonus effect, and bonus effects go to the optimal target. So the optimal target in this case is an enemy. Let's make this the target of this effect. While this drain 5 will go to my target, so he will pay 5 life and he will pay 5 life, and I will get 10 back, which is pretty nice. Now the blood tribute will trigger if the target dies, so he won't. Okay, let's do a Ravenous Bite here. Bleed 2, Festering 9, because we are a Wererat. That's a death sentence. And we can also use our Netherworld denizens to attack. So as you can see, when the allies get exhausted, they now get this translucent look, so you won't mistake them for active. And Shadow Serpents. I used them wrong. You have to target an ally and unsummon them, so like so. He got the chaotic damage. Okay, and I think it's a good time for us to join the fray. We shapeshifted. We are a Wererat now, and we also have fatigue and 4 defend. I will pass at this point. So now that we are shapeshifted and started our turn, when we started our turn, we played our Wererat form card, which you can see. If you forgot about the benefits, you can go back here, click on this. So Wererat form, and it's this card. When we started our turn, after we draw our cards, we played the Wererat form card, which healed us 1 and gave us resist physical 1, we draw an additional card and crafted our natural weapons. So that's what happened. We have our natural weapons. So claw attack. If you are a shapeshifter, yes we are, you also inflict mark 1, so the enemy will take 2 additional damage. And then we have a bleed 2 and a primal 3. Okay. So I will start with the bleed. And after that we will use our infest. Festering needs bleeding counters. If the enemy has bleeding counters, then Festering becomes 8 intense damage and an additional envenomed counter. So at 6 he is dead. He will take 8. Okay. Let's deal with the other one. I will just pass. So we have a bleeding 4 that it won't go away, and I can use a bandage to get rid of it. And also, we didn't pick a perk. Okay, so we have 25 perk points, and what interests us most as a class is the Apprentice Conjurer and Baal's Blessing. And what interests us most as a species is stuff that improve our natural weapons, of course. So most of them are in the animalism perk tree. And you can also get the Wererat pack, which will give you the Wererat and for the pack cards. But you most want is the natural weapon boosting effects, or combat if you are playing with combat. And there are many perks that we can get. Some of them will require for you to add more cards into your deck in order to take them, but they are pretty powerful perks and they are worth it. And from our class we can end up having more powerful summons and more summons. Anyway, I will start with the Apprentice Conjurer. This will give us a +2 power and +2 health to all our summons, and as we gain conjuration ranks, this benefit will improve, but it's also something that we need in order to get the rest of our summoning perks. Okay, so these guys also have the ability to bleed and inflict fester. So the first one will give the bleeding, because if the enemy is not bleeding already, then they won't fester. So let's right click him, he got the bleeding, right click, became festering. We can just attack. And the party isn't over when your retinue gets exhausted. The party is over when you are out of action points. So let's skip up. I can discard to restore action points and gain loyalty. So we're back at 5. And this guy has a bleed 3, draw 1 morale. So when he attacks, it inflicts bleed, and we draw a card, and that will go to someone in the battlefield, hopefully to an enemy and not us. We can also change this ability to draw 1 and restore 2. We can also shapeshift at this point. Okay, I will mark this guy to take the drain. Now Infest is a card that has a secret limit ability, so can I raise oops. Follow. So that's why we didn't draw a second Infest. We can't draw a second Infest as we have an Infest in our hands. Okay, so I told you that the frog doesn't have to land, and in order for him not to land, you can lock all your summons. And now let's multicast this frog. So we multicasted twice this frog, he died twice and he gave us 6 hit points and 3 action points back. And you can see that in your log that we skipped the protected ones and we casted, we multicasted the frogs. Okay. Let's use Infest. We will drain him. And we can let this ally die, so we can also get the strain and the draw benefit. Let's use Exaltation here. (7 to 15). A 16 will kill him. So let's attack here. And summon. Search the bandits. So I think I like this combination. It gives us some extra options while we are Netherworld denizens. Let's multicast them. And a bit more powerful. We are already shapeshifted. Knapsack. So we're almost close to level up.
Level up.
We got our level. Let's unsummon this one. He will die anyway. So as you can see, you can gain Hive Retainers, you can gain Ether Retainers, their Warrior, their Enforcer variants, all of them. But what you can't gain is the avatar. So we can only gain the avatar of Baal. So each one has a different passive ability, have a different come into play effect, have a different morale, and your supporting cards can change them. So that's lots of flexibility. We can add this into our stash. We are not undead, so we don't mind that. So I will be heading into the Overlook to do the higher level quest and gain experience a bit faster. Explore. Enemies are level 2 to 3. We should be able to handle that.
This is terrible.
Or not, we'll see. Let's also shapeshift. Okay, we will use release, but we have action points now. Okay, let's start with equivalent exchange. Summoning ritual. Bring our denizens. Kill this denizen. Kill this denizen too. Our retainers are unfortunately penalized, and our Etherworld denizens. But it's okay. Let's use these guys. They will deal slashing damage. Zero to 1 astral. So he's very ineffective. Let's use Shadow Serpents. No, our allies are very squishy here. And they hit pretty hard. But they are both dead now. Let's ring our shapeshift.
This is terrible.
More manageable. Almost dead. Bleed. But we need to pass damage in order for bleed to work. Let's put him away. His ability is stun, which is good. Okay. Bleed and festering. Bleed. Venom and festering. And festering. Festering is amazing. Is intense damage. It gives venom. And now we kill this guy. And this is stunned, so I can just play an exaltation here. So let's finish him off. Let's renew our shapeshift. Let's leave the Olnir die, we don't care. Also, as shapeshifters, we may not like very much the Olnir. You can read the lore as of the why. Start with this guy, claw attack, bleed festering. So these netherworld denizens play quite good with the Wererat. Let's mark this guy as our target, Venom Festering. He's the target, so bleeding, Venom Festering. These two. Let's multicast our infest. It ignores synergies. Okay, let's multicast this. Stun. And we don't mind here because she will use the local gossip and we can attempt to befriend her. Also draw a card. Let's use exaltation. Just advance. So the next encounter is an elite, which might be.
This is terrible.
They are level 3. Okay. Let's play one of this. Let's renew our shapeshift. Bleeding faster. Now we have a multicast of 6, which will affect every one of these guys. So maybe we can multicast this, or multicast this, or multicast this. I think I will go with a multicasted Netherworld Denizen. His stance still holds, which is good. And we have 3 fresh denizens to use. We don't have concealment. So, bleed. We will kill this one. Let's give some venom here. And the frog just sacrificed himself. Oh, light can hurt us a lot, as you can see. So this guy is very dangerous and have to go first. Dead. We can make that defend. Let's multicast these denizens. Find weakness. Venom Fester. Okay, so we also survived the elite node. Let's get these. So what you may want to equip is the Summoner's Grimoire and the Aetherbound Ring. We also have some sneak attack cards. So this Cloak of the Woods could come in handy. The Aetherbound Ring. Okay, so we also gained a level, and at this point we can get Baal's Blessing, which will increase the chaotic and damage of our ritual actions, but will also get us into Baal's teachings and other patron perks. And from species we can get the tough if we want, but I will leave things as they are for now. Let's go claw attack, 6. Teleportation, Venom Festering. So this is a ritual card that benefits in chaotic damage. Conjure spell blades. Let's get one Infernal Retainer. Burn draw, burn loyalty. So loyalty will make us deal more damage. We got him to bleed, so now we can infest him. And we can use our harder summon to kill this guy here. Both are living, so we can channel our drains there. Let's renew our Shapeshift and finish them like so, actually. So one thing to keep in mind about the summoner is that you are not a good guy. You have sold your soul to a demon lord. Your summons aren't your friends. You don't have to treat them good. And the more you see them as expendable, we have concealment, great, so this is a sneak attack, this is extortion, but undead can now take sneak attack. They have the bare minimum of immunities. Strain, extend.
Level up.
And we got a new level. So we can also stun these guys, and I will stun one of them, or try to, before ending my turn. And we can now also get our next summoning perk, which is Conjuration Rituals. Synergy power +4, synergy health +4. All actions we lose -1 hit point, and we get a summon, an extra summon, so Conjuration Rituals is amazing. Erannorth here as well. So now I will go back. So now we can have 4 allies in play. That's one of the greatest parts, but also look how stronger is some of our cards. Like now we give synergy health 12. Let's multicast this guy here. Tougher, stronger, better. They can't bleed or get venom. Let's unsummon this guy. So this style of bleed festering is useless against the undead. pass is drain, because we can still drain from our allies. Please. Well, we hit the wrong random skeleton. Not that we could control it in any way, but still. The frog dies to give us the hit points and the action points. So also this synergy power and synergy health has gotten much better. We also lose less health, which is good. Less lost health, happier summoners. Extend our Shapeshift, discard, get a Cloud Retainer. Cloud Retainer deals 2 intense damage. This symbol is the new symbol of intense all. So he dies, the moral passes to the next. Let's use equivalent exchange, summoning ritual, Etherbound ring. All these can go to our next summon. We don't have any summons in our draw pile though, so let's use this. Let's use this on this guy. It's okay. He still came out tough, even though the ley line penalty. Maybe we can lock this guy a bit. We can unlock this too. Can also unsummon one of them. Okay, and we are almost out of this area. It was a higher level area than what our character can normally do. Let's move him in the back, front, bleed festering, drain. Venom festering. Bleed through. Okay, so at this point bringing in a tougher frog is not much of a we might get a summon that can use like a retainer. I will just pass. Bleed Festering, Venom Festering, and pass. Okay, so let's stash a guard and a retainer. Return to the world. And that's about it, folks. I hope you enjoyed the run. I hope you will like the Shapeshifter and the Conjurer. They are both quite versatile. They aren't meant to be mixed together, but it could work, as you can see. I will be seeing you soon with another video, and for now, have a good night. Bye bye.